Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be installing a solid state drive into my desktop for a few different reasons. So one is I want to load the operating system onto it for a faster boot time. Two, I'd also like to load my games onto it for a faster boot time and just better overall experience. And then three, the main reason is so that when I'm playing a game and also recording it, I can do that on two separate drives, so I'm no longer bottlenecking my CPU. So because a lot of times when you do that on one drive, it just can't handle it. So having two separate drives will just make the process a lot more smoother. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So first things first is I need to remove the GPU because it's blocking the slot where I'm gonna plug in the solid state drive. So that process is pretty simple. There's just a couple screws on here I gotta get rid of. There we go. Okay. So now we have the channel open right here where the SSD is going to lay. So there's a certain way that it lays, obviously, based on the teeth marks here. So as long as you line that up, you can't really mess it up. So in my case, it looks like it's going in like this because there's a little tooth here. Man, I'm shaky. So before I do that though, I need to remove this screw that's going to hold it down. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully this is big enough or small enough. All right, so now that it screws out, we can go ahead and insert it. So the key is just to insert it on a 30-degree angle, and it should just lock into place. Let's see. Just like that. So it fits nice and snug. If it's not fitting like that, then you're probably installing it incorrectly. So just make sure those teeth marks line up and you should be all set. So you want to make sure that when you remove the base screw, you don't remove the whole screw. Otherwise the SSD will lay on an angle, which you don't want. So what I ended up doing was removing the entire screw. So I just put the base back in, and now I have the screw in here that I'm going to tighten. So, and we're not going to tighten it too hard, just until it stops turning, because we don't want it to be too tight. So now it's completely installed, and we can put the GPU back into its proper place. And last thing we gotta do is place the screws back. Keep it nice and secure. There we go. And voila, we're done. Now we can put the case back on and fire it up and test it out. Alright, so now that we have the SSD fully installed, next step is to actually set it up and mount it so that we can use it. So how we're going to do that, just go ahead and hit the Windows key on your keyboard, type in disk utility, hit enter. This disk management window will pop open. So the first thing you need to check is your partition style of your pre-existing hard disk. So how you're going to do that is right click on it, hit properties, go under volumes, and your partition style will be right here. Mine's GPT, the other option I believe is MBR. You just want to make sure that your old hard disk and the new one that you're going to clone have the same partition style. after that, you can go ahead and click on your new drive that's been installed. And you're going to click New Simple Volume. You can't see it here because mine's already set up. However, I will link a video in the description that shows this process. It takes about 20 seconds. It's very straightforward. All you do is basically assign a letter to it, like C or D, and you're good to go. This process is very well documented, but however, the actual cloning process is not. And that's the main focus of this video that I want to get out there. Is I wanted to show you guys the simplest way to do this. So all you have to do is go to this website, also link in the description. Go ahead and download it and install it. Very simple. Once you have it downloaded, go ahead and launch it. So this software has a few different functions. We're just going to be focusing on the cloning function since that was what we're doing. So go ahead and hit clone, disk clone. And it's going to ask you for the source disk, so where all your files are stored on, your old one. Go ahead and click that, then hit next. And the destination disk, your new one that has nothing on it. Next. It's going to give you a prompt asking you to back up your stuff if you're worried about losing it, blah blah blah. And then go ahead and check this SSD alignment. This basically just makes it faster reading and write process on your SSD after you clone it, and then hit start clone. And then you're good to go. It's that simple. Depending on how much files you have on your hard drive, it might take a little bit, but as far as the behind the scenes part, your job is done. So after that clones, you'll be good to go, and I would just go through some files that you don't actually want. Like, for instance, in my case, I had a lot of videos on my old one that I obviously don't need duplicates on my new SSD, so I just deleted them and cleared up 200 gigabytes of space. So just make sure you fine tune it and set it up for your needs. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to show was the difference in boot times between the old hard drive and the newly installed solid state drive. It's because a lot of people, I feel like, don't know the power of an SSD unless they're already used to it and have one installed. So the SSD booted in 20 seconds, and I could instantly pop open Edge, start browsing, whereas on my old hard drive, obviously that bad boy is still going. It goes for another minute, and then it also needs 2 or 3 minutes just for the operating system to completely load before I can start opening up things. So still feel a lot better as far as performance goes, and then also, as I stated in the beginning of the video, just to reduce the strain on my CPU when I'm both recording and playing a game. So that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.